industry is on steroids. The wellness industry will change many facets of our industry. I talk about the hospitality industry, and I want to give you some examples here. One of the things the pandemic did, it opened the communication channels about what wellness is all about. More and more people analyzed, diagnosed, wanted to find out what to do in order to be longer, happier, wealthier, and stay on top of things. So what has that facilitated? It has facilitated that the industry only dipped by 5%. The entire hotel industry dipped by much more. So it only dipped by 5%. And the amount of work which came, not in the year 2020, but 2021, our way was tremendous. The year 2020 was bad for our industry because everything was closed worldwide. The year 2021 was an industry year which was on steroids. Europe recorded in most wellness records occupancies in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's unheard of. Now Samui, which has Kamalaya, and Hua Hin, which has Shivasom, didn't do so because the country was closed, right? But the industry went really in overdrive. What happened in the Middle East, that entire giga projects were transferred from being hospitality projects into dedicated wellness assets and wellness projects. So there is resorts underway which are at the tune of $1 billion, $1.5 billion, and $2 billion. You have some of the most interesting architects and creators working there right now. And I think when they open starting in 2024, 2025, you will see an entire new chapter of wellness hospitality opening in that part of the world. Now, one of the things which also started to change with this move was that people talked about what wellness is all about. And I recall that many people don't want to talk about feeling not good, being depressed, being sad, or anything like this. The mental wellness industry was first researched actually by Davos and then by the World Health Organization, which released documentations in 2020 that it's an industry which is worth around $120 to $125 billion. And that is very closely associated with travel because some of the remedies, and we're going to come to this in a second, really are related to our industry at large. So people are now much more easier, open to take a dialogue where they talk about their not feeling so great and what they can do about this. Which leads me to, well, let's talk briefly about the utilization of drugs. Big topic, often not talked about. Depressant drugs. Women take 50% more than male about any medically related antidepressants. I think that's not true. Statistically, that's right, but I believe boys, men, don't like to talk about doing so. So I think there is something in the making there. Let's talk about blue zones. So one of the remedies, which was worldwide by all different research institutions identified, was the what does it take to live longer, have a better immune system, live better, be more balanced, and so forth and so forth. Dan Bittner did some very good research over the years and has expanded this with the WHO in the last 2 years. And they identified 8 different zones around the world where up to 30% of the population is above the age of 90 and 12% above the age of 100. And I'm going to read out now what they identified being the key components which they all have in common. Nutrition, we are what we eat. They all walk. They very, very limited use motorcycles or any kind of other transportation. Their side dishes is meat, but not their main courses. Their meat intake is somewhere between 5 to 10%, and it's mostly chicken and fish, and it's very rarely red meat. They eat a lot of whole grains. They practice spiritual practices. They drink alcohol, but in moderation, and mostly wine and beer. They sleep 7 to 8 hours. They have a social network and a social community. They talk about their hardships and anxieties, and they make everything clear in their cooking methodology so that they steam and braise instead of deep fry and grill on the grill. So actually also very, very simple things. We all know them. But this is the recipe according to Dan Bittner, WHO, and the Davos Forum, which has been identified as the very simple solution in order to live longer, have a better life, and things like this. Now, coming back to Thailand, I believe that Thailand will take a very, very active role, not only with Schweder and Hospitaliy, the two renowned wellness resorts, but with many other developments. There's right now 6 big developments here in Thailand where wellness real estate and wellness hospitality will come together. I don't know if they're all going to go ahead. Projects have the tendency not to all work out the way how they're planned. But if they're going to work out, Thailand will really go on the forefront of this. And I can only congratulate Thailand to do so because, merging retirement with active living, merging destination wellness resorts with the beautiful hospitality and the great food we have here would be an ideal mix and base in order to really excel. So what are the pitfalls? The pitfalls are when wellness meets wanderlust, the problem is everybody jumps right now onto I need a spa, I need a bigger yoga program, I need a better vet area, I need this and this and this. Just adding some facilities will really not do it. They have to be woven into the guest segmentation. One has to analyze really what the respective guests need. And I can give you one good example. We have a lot of Chinese guests here. We have a lot of Japanese guests here. We have Korean guests here. They're the biggest bathers in the world. Have you seen any good destination hot spring facility in Thailand? Not one yet. So, but those market segments are the ones who travel here the most. So there's lots to do here. I think the future is bright for Thailand, and I say thank you to Bill to allow us to briefly share some news here. Bye-bye.